Before we were free. Anita's diary. Pages 123 to 131. So I woke up Mammy, who never sleeps a wink, but I always seem to find her fast asleep. And we woke up the Mancinis, who turned Mojo and Maja loose on the gallery, and they scamper off and down the steps into the yard, barking and growling. And then there were gunshots, and Tia Mari was screaming from the gallery, Mojo, Maja! But no answer, and Tio Pepe was trying to drag her back inside, while also hurrying into his dressing gown as there was now loud knocking downstairs at the front door. We went into emergency procedure. Mommy and I slipped into the bathroom closets and back into the crawl space. One of the boards is loose and it makes a terrible whack sound. It scared us half to death. We waited for what has been 20 minutes but seemed forever. My heart was pounding so loud, I thought surely it could be heard throughout the house. And then, oh my God, I remember I had left my diary on the back of the toilet when I rushed to the closet to wake up Mommy. I didn't dare sneak out to get it, and I didn't dare tell Mammy because she would have just died of one of her nerve attacks right then and there. In a little while, Tio Pepe was back, and we all sat on the floor of the closet and Tio Pepe told us the story. The Sim had come to the door to say they had been called by the embassy because there were intruders on the grounds. A lie. It turned out the Sim agent in church recognized Tio Pepe, whose brother-in-law, Dr. Mela, had saved his little daughter's life after a ruptured appendix. Anyhow, when Tio Pepe invited them inside to search the house, this grateful man said that would be unnecessary. Tio Pepe stood talking to them a little longer at the door and then they left. Tia Mari quieted while Tio Pepe told her story, but then she started to cry again about Mojo and Maja. The next morning, the night watchman reported the two dead dogs. Poor Tia Mari was just crying and crying. Mommy and I felt terrible, as it was our fault that this happened. And I felt doubly terrible leaving my diary out in the open. What if the Sim had come in and found it there? I could have cost us our lives on account of my carelessness. For days, I wasn't able to write a single word. The third radio was turned off. But then I started thinking, if I stop now, they've really won. They've taken away everything, even the story of what is happening to us. So tonight, I pick up my pen, and sure enough, I've been writing my heart out, even if my hand is shaking. July 1st, 1961, Saturday morning. 2 resolutions for the new month. Number 1, try to write something every day. Number 2, keep diary hide all times. At night under my mat, and during the day when we roll up the mats in the pocket of Tia Mari's fur coat that she wears when she travels to cold countries. It's become so much me that finding it would be like finding me. So it's got to be a diary in hiding. When I write in it, I feel as I've got a set of wings. I'm flying over my life and looking down and thinking, Anita, it's not as bad as you think. July 2nd, 1961, Sunday afternoon. Another dreary Sunday, worrying about Papi. It's been over a month since I saw him. Sometimes I find myself forgetting what he even looks like. And then I feel bad, like my forgetfulness means he's gone forever. When I get this way, I don't care about following my schedule or writing in my diary or daydreaming about Oscar. All I want to do is lie on my mat in the closet. Mammy gets upset with me. Come on, Anita, she scolds. You can't lie around all day. Who do you think you are, the Queen of Sheba? The queen of the walk-in closet is more like it. July 3rd, 1961, Monday night. The little Marias gave us such a scare this afternoon. Tia Marty was out doing grocery shopping at Wimpy's, and she must have thought she locked up her bedroom door as usual, but she hadn't. Mommy and I were in the walk-in closet with the door open for some ventilation and light, playing concentration, being quiet but not especially careful, when suddenly we heard the little girls coming into the bedroom. Mommy's going to be mad, one of us was saying. I couldn't tell which one. She's not, said another. She won't even know. There were sounds of opening drawers and jiggles, and one of them saying, "You put on too much." And there at the vanity, trying on the lipsticks and perfumes, which I've done in my own mommy's bedroom countless times. "Look what you did, you spilled it." Then one of them said, "Let's go see mommy's bear," which is the way they refer to the mother's fur coat hanging in his closet. Mommy and I froze. Our concentration cane was spread out on the floor. We had no time to pick up or cross it over to the bathroom closets, so we just backed in among the closets. Suddenly, we heard someone else coming into the room. "What are you girls doing?" "You know you're not supposed to be in here." It was Oscar. I hadn't heard his voice in so long. It sounded deeper, more like a man's voice than a boy's. The little girls scrambled off, but curious Oscar stayed on, looking around. Soon the steps came around the corner and into the narrow hall, and then Oscar stepped inside the closet and ran his hand over the hanging suits and dresses, then stopped cold. Something had caught his eye. Very quietly, he backed out of the closet and shut the door. Mommy and I stayed hidden until we heard Tia Mari coming back. "Virgen Maria," she cried, "I believe I left the door unlocked." On the floor of the closet, our concentration game was undisturbed, all the center cards face down. But one card had been turned over, the Queen of Hearts. July 4, 1961, Tuesday early morning. Before breakfast, I heard a little pebble strike the window of the bathroom, then another. I didn't dare look out just in case, but when a third went pink, curiosity got the better of me, and I peeked out the high window. Oscar was standing in the yard, looking up. I ducked down before he saw me. Later, I've seen wondering if Oscar did see me. Just now, I took the Queen of Hearts, I slipped it out the window, and I watched it sailing down to the yard below. July 5th, 1961, Wednesday after siesta. Yesterday, being the day of independence for the United States, Wimpy had a barbecue behind his door. The Mancinis were invited. Tio Pepe says that Wimpy knows where we are and is doing all he can to ensure our safety, whatever that means. Was Shusha there? I asked Tia Mari. Was she there? She and Oscar would not stop talking. I touched the spot on my cheek, trying to calm myself down. But my imagination has been going wild. Could they have been talking about me? Oscar was again outside early this morning, looking up. July 6, 1961, Thursday evening news. This evening, a surprise. Tia Mari brought the Arabian Nights, which has to be one of my all-time favorite storybooks. When she saw the smile on my face, she said, so he was right. It turns out that Tia Mari asked Oscar this morning what book he might recommend for someone about his age, and he pulled this one out. I opened the book, and there was a bookmark. The Queen of Hearts. July 7, 1961, Friday night. Just knowing that I might have a secret communication going with Oscar makes every day brighter. I'm spending a lot more time in the bathroom trying out hairstyles. This afternoon, Mommy saw me fusing and said, "Who's going to see you here? For heaven's sake, Anita." My firstborn. Of course, she's right, but still, I told her what Tío Pepe had said about the Marquis de Sade. Mommy just answered with one of Chucha's saying, "Dress the monkey in silk, he's a still monkey." During supper tonight, Tío Pepe got into a long explanation about how human beings aren't using their full potential. If their brain were displayed, he said, we're using this grain of rice. Einstein maybe used this wedge of avocado. Galileo, this yuca patty. To think how much potential I'm wasting combing my hair and wondering if I'm pretty enough. How do you know when you're using your full potential? I asked Tío Pepe. But before he could get a word out, Tia Marty said, I'll tell you when you're using your full brain power, when you're so smart enough to eat your supper before it gets cold. That made even Tío Pepe smile and dig in. July 8, 1961, Saturday evening. Reading the Arabian Nights again has started me thinking, can stuff like this really happen? A girl who saves her life by telling a cruel sultan a bunch of stories? Let's say El Jefe had taken me away to his bedroom, like he wanted to do with Lucinda. Could I have told him some stories that would have changed his evil heart? Or are some people so awful that nothing can really get inside them and make a difference? I asked Tío Pepe, and he said that it's $1 million question. He said many great thinkers like Nietzsche and Heidegger tried but never came up with a satisfactory answer, and they were working with a lot bigger plate of brains than I am. Tia Marty has promised to ask Oscar for another book recommendation.